Next step here is to take this wear strip off the plow, and there's 4 carriage bolts that are in the back that hold that on, and they're all really rusty and stuff, so I'll try my impact driver and see what happens here. Alright, so here's the deal. I have a brand new wear strip, but I don't want to use it. I want to save it until I really can't get any more out of the one that I have. So if I come over here and measure how far the slip comes up is 2 inches. If I come over here and measure how much is left on mine, it's roughly 1 inch. So what I had done before is I had just like put this metal on there and bolted it on the front. It was a piece of stuff that I got at Tractor Supply. What I'm actually going to do now is take it off, flip it upside down, and weld it on, and see if I can get it so that it comes down 2 inches, because this piece here is a little more than 2 inches wide. It's like 2 1/4. So if I do this right, I can just put a couple welds on there and get rid of these bolts that I had, and you know, I can go from there. So let me just get the impact on again, and we'll zip out these bolts. And they get all worn off and crappy, so they suck, but they're just some 5/16 bolts. So we get those out, and then we'll see what we got left. And you can see how much this thing wore. I think it has 2 years worth of use on this wear strip, and it's wore pretty good. But again, I think the problem is that I didn't have it down far enough, because I didn't realize that it was worn in half on the old one. Who would have known, right? So, alright. I got the piece off, and you can see how worn this is. And again, it's supposed to be 2 inches, and it's only about 1 inch. So it's really worn a lot. There's a little bit of rot on the side over here, which probably is from salty snow just hanging out in there. Doesn't matter. It's not going to affect anything in the operation here. So I'm just going to flip this thing over so the bad side is up. And ooh, it's sharp like a knife on there. And I'm basically going to clamp it on so I'm at the 2 inch mark, and then we'll weld it. Alright, so we got it here. So I got it in the right position. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wire wheel this a little bit, and then I'm going to put a couple welds on here. Not a ton, just a few, and just enough to hold it on there. So I'll probably just tack on maybe every 6 inches or something, a couple tacks, and then I'll, you know, call it a day, I think, you know, and we'll see what happens. If and I can put a couple tacks on the front side too, so we'll get right back to it. The first weld went good. It's kind of dirty over here, I think, still. Where's my brush? I got a bad ground or something. Let's try to get a bit of ground. That's some really rusty metal. Oh, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay, so I got the wear strip back on the plow, all welded up, sticking down 2 inches instead of 1 inch, so hopefully when I plow now it will work a lot better. In fact, I'm going to just drop the plow down, see how it looks on the ground. Yeah, that's nice. We're hitting pavement with the whole front, and this part of the plow isn't dragging on the ground, which is the important part. Otherwise, it's going to wear through the plow, and I don't want that to happen. So, we still got to get that bearing for the clutch, and I wanted to paint the plow and the frame of the tractor, which we didn't have time tonight. We're supposed to get 1 inch of snow tonight, which isn't cool, so kind of debating, do I put the tractor back together with the noisy bearing and just use it if it snows, or do we just see what happens? I don't think I'm going to put it together. It's supposed to be less than 1 inch, and then it's supposed to turn into maybe a little rain after that. But nonetheless, I want to get this thing back together and back to its home, which is not here. It's at another property that we have. So anyways, Merry Christmas.